Section 6 of The Challenge of Waste by Stuart Chase. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recorded by the Progressing America Project. The Challenge of Waste, Section 6. The Wants of Man. Before the deficiency of a thing can be measured, a standard of judgment must be set up. Waste cannot be measured or even condemned, unless the clear potentialities of a non-waste method are established. Years ago, before the first steam engine, there was no waste in pumping out coal mines by hand. The better method lay in the womb of time. In the last analysis, the sole aim of an economic system is to supply the wants of man. It is quite obvious that the present system is mainly concerned with supplying money profits to certain favored individuals, with the satisfaction of wants coming in the back door as a byproduct. But by and large, from century to century, men work in order that they may eat, and sometimes for the fun of working. If we can define the wants of man, we have then a yardstick which may be clapped down over any industrial system to determine, first, how far the system is concerned with producing such wants; second, how efficiently it uses available technical knowledge to produce them; third, what proportion of the population are failing to receive the quota as defined. What are the wants of men? Here the cynic waits for the whole theory to collapse on its own threshold. What god or demon will draw a ring around the wants of man and yoke to the statistician's plow? Agreed, gentlemen. The wants of man are impossible of exact definition. They are constantly growing, shrinking, changing. In a certain sense they are different for every living person. One man's meat is sometimes another man's poison. Any allowable definition of the wants of man must be built without a roof. It must be open to the sky. What does man want? Life, a more abundant life. Bread and beauty, if you please. Our cynic as well as our artist must agree to this. What constitutes a more abundant life? More bread, more beauty. And we cannot permit cynics and artists to argue that this does not include certain unchanging classifications of wants, which the facts as to man's place in nature render imperative. Thus everyone must eat, and he must eat certain combinations of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, together with the accessory vitamins, or he sickens and dies, and his aesthetic wants become a matter of very secondary consideration. He must in certain climates have clothes to wear to keep him from cold or heat, and in nearly all climates he must have a house or shelter of some sort in which to live, and particularly to protect his children. Food, shelter, and clothing comprise the most elementary wants of man. After them follow other classifications, almost equally essential to mankind in civilized communities. The development of communication between people, channels without which human society is impossible, an alphabet, a language, books, education, are all imperative wants of man. Religion of some sort he wants. Art he demands, music, painting, architecture and design, poetry, literature and the theater. Recreation and play he wants, dancing, running, swimming, mountain climbing, games. The latter is a very fundamental want, for the body declines rapidly if it is not satisfied. Health he wants, and the services of doctors, nurses, hospitals, sanitary measures. Love he wants, not only sexual, but all the pleasant relationships of family and friends. Some men just want to know. They are moved by a divine curiosity. We call what they do pure science, and it is one of the most precious of man's wants. A system of production which turns out the facilities for satisfying these wants, in reasonable abundance, and in some sort of relative balance, can be taken as a non-wasteful system so far as its aims are concerned. The technical efficiency of the process involved, and whether or not unnecessary labor energy is consumed therein, is a further question which demands attention, and which we will discuss presently. End of section 6.